Giants take on the Chiefs for tonight's Monday Night Football matchup. This short is brought to you by Footballguys.com. The Chiefs are fresh off a blowout loss against the Titans. They look to get back on track tonight. The Giants will again be without star running back Saquon Barkley and wide receiver Kenny Golladay for another week. Let's get into the fantasy impact for tonight, starting with the quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes. The fact that he's having a down season, has 9 interceptions total. He's still the QB4 in points per game. That's exactly why you never stray away from starting him. This is a get-right matchup for Mahomes. This Giants defense, they're no pushovers, but Patrick should be able to find his groove tonight. Daniel Jones on the other side of the ball, hot pick off the waiver wire this week with Dak out, Derek Carr, Lamar on bye. Jones hasn't been as productive in his last few weeks, which is a little scary looking at those stat lines, but he has a huge opportunity for a smash start tonight. This Chiefs defense is one of the worst in the league in all categories, which bodes well for Danny Dimes and the rest of the Giants playmakers tonight. The Chiefs give up the second most points to the quarterback position. They currently rank 31st in Football Outsiders defense DVOA metric. So fire up Daniel Jones tonight. On to the running backs. We have 2 backup running backs in the spotlight tonight. Darrel Williams for the Chiefs. He continues to fill in for the injured CEH. Last week, the Chiefs were blown out and Williams was kind of phased out of the game plan. He only got the ball 8 times. This week should look more like his first start when he filled in for CEH against Washington. He had 24 touches in that game, 2 touchdowns, 24 PPR points. He should be in a positive game script tonight, catching passes, making him a valuable low-end RB1, high-end RB2 this week. For the Giants, Devonta Booker is filling in for Saquon, as I already mentioned. He salvaged his week last week with a touchdown. He had 14 carries for 51 yards on the ground. Otherwise, 2 receptions for 15 yards. He now faces a defense giving up the 10th most points to the running back position, so he's in a good spot to score tonight. He could be game scripted out if this game gets out of hand early and the Giants are down, but this projects to be a high-scoring game with 52-point over-under. Moving on to the wide receivers, Tyreek Hill has been nursing a knee injury, but he looks to be ready to go for tonight. Of course, he's in your starting lineups. The Chiefs are going to need him if they want to win this game. The Giants are 19th against fantasy wide receivers, but look for Hill to bounce back this week from that performance from last week. Mecole Hardman, can you trust him tonight? The answer is always a hard no. We can't trust him ever. You're hoping for a big splash play or a touchdown. He's a shaky wide receiver 3 for tonight. In week 5, he did post the season high 16.6 PPR points, but he's only had about 14 total points over these last 2 games. And this Giants secondary, as I already mentioned, there's no pushover. They're middle of the pack. So unless he's getting that splash play, I'm not sure he'll be involved enough tonight, which is always the worry for a wide receiver 3 type of player. Giants receivers Sterling Shepard and Kadarius Toney, they're currently listed as questionable. They are expected to play tonight. I'm comfortable slotting them right back into my lineups as high-end wide receiver 2s tonight. Of course, they come with a little risk, but you got to risk it for the biscuit. Chiefs defense, 26 in passing yards allowed per game, bodes well for these guys. And also Darius Slayton, who I like as a dart throw tonight. Again, you're hoping for a splash play from him like Hardman. Kadarius Toney's coming off an ankle sprain, but he looked electric prior to that injury. 13 targets in his breakout performance in week 5. And even in the game against the Rams, they targeted him 3 times on their first drive before he re-injured himself. So look for him to be very involved tonight. I'm so excited to watch Toney tear it up out there. Sterling Shepard as well. He's been a target hog, 14 targets in week 6. He's a favorite of Daniel Jones downfield. So put him right back into your lineup. Tight ends, Travis Kelce, no further analysis needed here. Of course, he's in your starting lineup every single week. He is crushing it this season once again. Evan Engram, though, for the Giants, he's continued to disappoint, even with the Giants' injury woes, keeping so many of these star wide receivers off the field. He's not really producing for fantasy. 13 receptions in his last 3 games for 123 yards. He's really not getting the job done for you. But with bye weeks and fill-ins, Kansas City's giving up the 4th most points to the tight end position, so there were some worse dart throws out there this week than Engram. Of course, make sure to look at all of our amazing tools at footballguys.com. Every single week I'm using the snap share counts, the target shares. We have everything right in one place. Check that out, footballguys.com. Thank you so much for listening to this short. Good luck with your matchups this week.